we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Everything looking tight. Man, we back in DCPC. We got the new angle. We got Hundo in the building.
What's good? You already know.
Man, this dude's premiering the new Stoods, and I couldn't be more excited. I mean, major talent across the table.
Thanks, man.
It's Colton is your name. Colton?
If we gotta let it out there, yes. Government name, Colton.
Colton, a.k.a. Hundo.
That's right.
This man is a major creator in Denver. You bring consistent content out. It's like several times a week you're dropping videos. It's fun stuff. Everybody, if you don't know Hundo already from being on our episodes, this man is into fitness. He eats healthy. He's shredded and very motivated and moving forward, and it's just a pleasure to have you in, man.
Thank you very much. Quite the intro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
It's kind of funny. Right before we hit the record button, I said we don't do introductions anymore. And then Arthur comes right out of the gate, does this big introduction.
Rolls right into an intro.
So
hey.
I couldn't help it.
Hundo needs an intro, okay?
Hundo does need an intro.
You can't just roll into a Hundo podcast without an intro. People be like, what the fuck's going on? What happened? When did we miss this?
Yeah,
You know?
what did we miss here?
When did this start? Did it start just now? What?
Yeah.
It's going down, man.
It's going.
This is a Wednesday where the winds are getting turbulent and it's starting to snow.
I know.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of weather, Hundo.
For the 26th time, it's gone from hot to cold.
It was
Seems
so
in the
nice
past 2
yesterday.
months.
So nice yesterday.
So annoying. I don't know.
March in Colorado trips me out every March.
I know.
Because exactly what you just described. You know, we could have the grill out, we're chilling, we're grilling and chilling, and then now I got to get my snow pants on.
Yeah. Get a little taste of the winter right when you get in the summer. It's very odd. Yep.
I've kind of been enjoying the cold though. And look, I'm a Colorado native. Like, I appreciate the bipolar weather. Like, it's kind of fun, you know.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I don't like the cold that much, but
I don't either.
every time it's cold, it makes me appreciate when it's warm a little bit more. So if it's just warm all the time, I'd start to lose appreciation.
That's true.
But I don't know. I've never really lived anywhere where it's warm all the time, so I can't.
And you've been in Colorado. You're native, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Born in Colorado. Lived in Seattle for like a couple years, and I was really young.
So how was that? Because I like the Pacific Northwest a lot, but do you recall when you were younger, like, did the gray days get to your happiness? Like,
In Seattle?
yeah, because they always say, like,
No, I was too young for. I mean, I think it made me like the rain. Actually, I like the rain a lot. I associate it with like calming down, and put a little rain on my phone app to go to sleep and stuff like that.
Does it help you
I have
sleep?
a lot of memories from being out there and it just raining at night, and yeah, I definitely remember it being gloomy and always like a rainy day, but it never really affected my memories of being in Seattle for sure.
now when did you first kind of discover your passion for being like a lyricist and putting words together? I think we talked about this a little bit the very first time that you came on.
Yeah, we might have. It was 6th grade. I went to Euclid Middle School and just like to come up with these little rhymes or poems, if you will, about other kids in class, just kind of making fun of them or poking fun, not in a mean way, but just in a kind of a funny way. And people would be like, oh, let me hear that little jam you came up with. And so I'd recite it. And then actually couple years later or a year later started making techno beats with FL Studio, which is like a pretty commonly known electronic based DJ music creating program, and that just led to combining the two, putting little poems that I wrote on the techno beats, and then that kind of just sold my fate. I knew from then I had to be a rap artist, and that was 6th, 7th grade. I started my YouTube channel in 2005, actually.
Yeah,
That was
July
early in the game.
2005, Yeah.
So you were like one of the first to hit the
I
channel.
was uploading rap videos, freestyles, all that stuff.
yeah,
way
it's
back
crazy,
in the
man.
day. So
You've been a creator for a long time, for sure.
Yes,
like you said,
absolutely.
the Team Maverick video, that video gets me pumped up, man,
Yeah.
because it really does chronologize your whole journey of, man, just been grinding, putting out content.
And that was pretty much, that was the whole purpose of that video. Looking back on it, it's not, it's not the most well put together video, just because I was more worried about time constraints. So the whole thing with that was there was a couple creators online. One in specific by the name of Logan Paul, who ran a podcast, and on the podcast he mentioned hiring new influencers or upcoming influencers, trying to give him a shot. I don't remember exactly what he said in the interview, but he said whatever he said convinced me that, you know, it was time to apply, because knowing how the internet works, if you see an opportunity, or if there is an opportunity, there's tons of other people that are taking up on that opportunity.
Hundreds of thousands, probably.
In my head, I thought, you know, I got to throw something together, get a submission going. And he wasn't even really asking for video submissions or anything like that. I was just trying to put something together to, like you said, display, not necessarily that I've been making, you know, the best content forever, but I have been putting out consistent content and working on doing what I've been trying to do for a very long time. So there's a lot of experience I have. And just felt like I was the perfect person for something like that position. And so I took this video and I submitted it, and I don't think there was even really like an official place to submit anything. He just kind of like talked about it. I think he might have mentioned one email, but I sent it to a whole bunch of different people that I knew were either associated with him or might be able to see it and then pass it along.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get an email response back from someone who was on his team.
Okay.
Right?
Epic.
I look at my phone one day and it's an email back from, says Greg Paul, which is his dad. And so I already got excited before I even read the email because I figured he saw the video, he's going to be at least somewhat pumped on it.
Yeah, why even reply?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Just being naive, you know, confident in my own craft, if you will. And it couldn't have been more the opposite response. He was just like, he pretty much trashed me in this email.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he like roasted me in this email. So I like had to read it 3 times to even figure out. I was like, okay, hold on. I'm being roasted right now. And at the time, it definitely was like, it bummed me out quite a bit. But now looking back on it, it's pretty funny. Especially because if you don't know anything about this guy, he's a real hard ass. And he makes some content online that makes him appear like he's, you know, super nice and would be open. But if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have even sent it to his dad. Because he's just the like that's just the exact type of response that he.
So
would,
he
would
literally
give.
replied to try to put you down.
Yeah, no,
Like
for sure.
Who does that, man? Like
That's kind of what I thought. Is I was like, at the end of the day, I'm old enough. It's like it's not gonna have a super serious effect on me to where I'm gonna stop doing anything that I'm already doing or change anything about how I'm living my life. It's just a bummer. If anything, it's just a funny story now, but. If he's doing that same thing to, say, somebody who's 10 years younger or even somebody who's the same age but is a lot more sensitive or fragile, if you will,
yeah.
You know, you could just really, really destroy them by doing something like that, you know, especially people who are in a higher position of fame, you know, notoriety, have a lot more power to emotionally affect someone when they give them negative energy. And so that's what I thought about is, wow, I mean, I hope he's not doing this to it.
Oh, guarantee you he's doing it to everybody.
Yeah,
of
you
course.
Know, so,
Yeah, he has to be.
But it does take the wind out of the sails a little bit. I'm sure hearing that, you know, you're excited. You're like, man, I got this email coming in, you know, but you didn't let it stop you. You kept the ball moving forward because we can't let someone else's opinion become our reality.
If I ever, you know, when I get somewhere, whenever that is.
Dude, you're on the way, bro. I could see the dust kicking up behind you.
It's a story that I'd like to have because
It's a good story.
It's funny, and if I ever run into him, I think it would be a funny story.
Yeah, once
it's not even like something personal, it really.
Yeah.
Isn't.
No, that's good, and I'm glad you didn't take it that way. Because when Hundo's a household name, you can be like, look, man, you know.
And then at the end of the day, not everybody's gonna think you're hot shit. Not everybody's gonna think the stuff you make is good. That's, I think, a really important thing to learn and accept as a creator is you're not going to ever be able to please everybody, no matter what you do, no matter how, like, if you had a magic genie that allowed you to create content and tweak it to a way that you would expect to be perfect for everybody, it will never be perfect for everybody. There'll still be a small percentage or a certain percentage of people who say, the exact opposite of what you would expect. That it's the worst thing that they've ever seen. So, no matter who you're encountering, what you're encountering, don't ever take something like that too personal, because
Such good advice.
you have to just make your content the way you want to make it.
Yes.
Because whether you make it authentically the way you make it, or you make it unauthentically in a molded way that you think is going to get you more fame and followers, tons of people are still going to hate what you do. So
Just part of the game.
just be authentic, because then there's not a weird like dystopia that you're living, or a weird switch you have to try to make once things pick
and
up.
I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, you can't please everybody in life, and you should never feel that expectation to do that, because, like, I can tell that you enjoy creating the videos that you create, and like that's the most important thing, is that you're having fun in the now, right now, and that's a beautiful moment in this blimp of a life, right? Like, it goes by quick. As we're all getting older, we realize how true that is, and it's just like, let the haters hate, baby. And it's like, because here's the thing, man, it's like, we're all going to just keep doing what we do, and as long as we're self-satisfied, then it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And if all these, you got this Greg Paul or whatever, like, if he's out here literally composing a whole response just to try to put you down and belittle you, like, think about that person's average thought process on a day. Like they have no value in my mind. Like, even if you did think that, like, to send an email and write it out and send it, like, why even share the negativity? Like, so like, that person, I'm gonna discount that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something we all got to be prepared for as creators. I mean, in the podcast business, people say, "Oh, this is boring. We don't care about this. You guys are mundane. We don't want to watch you drink beer every week." Right? It's just part of it. And like you said, but that's us. We're keeping it authentic. Right. I think that's solid advice, because it's easily to get influenced when someone says, "Hey, you should probably tweak this or try that." And I'm all for constructive criticism, but when you're trying to change me as a person, I'm not. I don't like that. Right? We got to stay authentic. We got to stay real to what we're doing and believe in ourselves. And the rest will come. There's always going to be haters along the way, man. The haters are the motivators,
That's right. I have the email right here, actually. Do you guys want to hear it?
Oh, live action. Let's go.
Okay, so this is what I sent to him. I said, "Hey, Greg, I'm sure you get so many emails, and I never heard a response from you about my submission to come create content with the crew. I would be honored not to just come make content, but to work my ass off. That includes on and off camera. My mother and father taught me how to give respect and conduct myself in a professional manner, and that is what makes me a better candidate than any other creator. I have a submission video if you will please take the time to view it, and if you like, pass it along to your son, Logan, or Mike. Lord knows reaching them is so much more difficult. Anyways, here's the link to my submission. Hope to hear back from you, Hundo." And I gave him
Very
my phone
professional.
number.
I feel like that was put together.
Solid.
Yeah.
Linked the YouTube video, and then I signed off by saying, "Either way, I will always support." Because, I mean, essentially that's
You're still
what
supporting
it comes
it.
down to, is I'd love,
Yeah.
This is an opportunity I'd love, but at the end of the day, it's not someone who's clout chasing to the point where it's the only thing I care about, So he responded and said, "Dude, ... You said that you won't be held back by the lack of opportunity you've been given. Really," in all caps, "you have as much opportunity or more than anyone else. You've created a ton of content with very few followers. The public has spoken. Your stuff is not connecting with the people. I'm not passing anything along. 1,100 viewers after 16 years of content says something about your work. Good luck with whatever you do."
He started with "dude."
And so I said, "Well, this is not the response I was hoping for, but you did at least take the time to respond and give feedback. I appreciate you at least checking it out. I am truly a supporter." Because if he did watch it, I do appreciate that aspect.
Yeah.
Whether I got roasted or not. Someone taking their time out of the day to say, "Hold on, let me check it out." And the fact that he quoted something I did say in the video shows he did watch it.
Yeah.
I still appreciate that. So I at least wanted to say that, just leave off on a good note. And he responded saying, "Most people struggle with truth." And that's how he left it. So that was our interaction.
Well, I mean, shit, man. Like, and like, we just kind of covered this, but it's like, if you don't take the shot, If you don't try, then it's just like, because then you'd be thinking, what if the whole time?
Yeah.
Right?
So this kind of relates to another guy named Austin Wallace, who's popular for roughly 6 months ago doing a similar thing where he scouted out this guy Logan at a professional event, and he just goes up to him and he doesn't have much prepared. He just says, hey man, I snuck in. I want to come intern with you.
I think I saw this.
Yeah, I'd like to, be a part of your thing. What can I do? And Logan's pretty much shuts him down in a pretty nice way. I wouldn't say it's the same manner that, his dad did me for sure, because it was just he basically saying that, I can't give everybody an opportunity, and I'm already pretty much full with what I got going on. And this guy he's still, getting a lot of hate online for it, but his notoriety now is for this event. And so whether it's that guy or me or anybody else, that's what everybody's doing, is they're just taking a shot. And if you don't take a shot, if you don't open new doors of opportunity, you'll never see new opportunities, period.
It's so true.
And so don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid to get shut down.
Because
like I said before, if you're
not
not opening doors of opportunity where people are rejecting you and roasting you in your face, it doesn't mean you're not getting roasted, It just means you're not going and opening the doors and hearing it. So it makes yourself feel better, like, wow, no one's hating my content or no one doesn't like my stuff. But you'll just realize the more you put your stuff out there, the more exposes yourself to hate. That's natural no matter what. So you need to put yourself out there. Because
so I feel like you got something.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just going to echo off that point. It's so true. There's so much influence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people weighing in on your content, and it can be discouraging. But staying true, authentic, and humble with everything that you've done, what we've done here, I think is prepares the mind a little bit for some of the bullshit that's going to come with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's naive to think that we're just going to put all this content out here and everyone's just going to love it and run with it. I mean, you look at Joe Rogan, look how much hate he's getting right now. It's part of the business. It's part of the business. But staying true and authentic is a tough part of it. So many people are influenced by the hashtags, by the, trying to push this, that, or the other, certain agendas. And it's hard to find true authenticity anymore, I feel like. So
on the contrast to kind of what you said there, and I agree with what you're saying, Kev, but you said, like, the more you put your stuff out there, the more that you expose yourself to, like, the haters and all that. Mm-hmm. But do you feel like through your journey of content creation, because you got thousands of videos, do you feel like that's also kind of opened up to, like, you understanding yourself better, like, in the process? Because you look back, you review these videos, you post them, you edit them, like, you get to know yourself on another level.
I don't know if it's necessarily the hate or the love at the time that helps you sense that. I think really that's just more or less realized personally for me when I just go back and look at old videos after it's been enough time.
No, but self-love is what I'm talking about. Like, did you get to know yourself better by being a creator?
I would say, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's part of being a creator, is opening yourself up to the world, to what you want to create, and then opening yourself up to criticism, and then gauging how you want to respond to that criticism, how you want to take that, and how you want to let that change your art throughout your whole career. Because it's always going to be a constant component, is people telling you what you should do, telling you what you shouldn't do, and that's an aspect I've thought a lot about getting famous and blowing up. Is there's a lot of negativity that comes with it, and people just saying a lot of negative things about the stuff that you make in your career, and there's just no way to ever get away from that. So you just have to learn to deal with it on a smaller level and carry that through as it maximizes, because there's no way around it.
The positive impact, I think, will always outweigh the negative.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, is when people are hating, it comes from such a unintelligent, shallow place, an egotistical place. Jealousy, envy. Usually they're just envying you and not really understanding that they're desiring the same thing for themselves, and they're mad that they don't have it, or
you're technically
something different
free.
that they don't have, or they want to feel more confident in their own skin, whatever it may be. And so they'll throw hate your way. But when people are loving what you're doing, it comes from a very intelligent place of analytical observation, and that to me is more pleasing and more constructive to hear, because someone is liking your stuff and, you know, telling you what still might be able to improve or whatever it may be, you know.
Well, I'll tell you one thing positive about your videos, right? Because you eat way better, so much healthier than I eat, like bar none, bro. And so I see that, and that's a motivation for me. Like I know my boy's doing it, I know Hundo's out there doing it. Like it, you know, that it rings in my head. And then you're working out, I see you doing your deadlifts, and you're doing this stuff, and you're creating it, you're putting it out there, and it's just like, you know, I'm gonna do some push-ups right now.
That's right.
You know, and it's just that little bit, like, shit, Hundo's out there doing it. He's hustling. He's staying true and consistent to himself. Like, I need to do the same thing, man. And you even have, like, your little dashboard documentaries, I guess, where you talk about how the day's going.
Yep.
And like, what's happening. And it's real.
Yep.
And, like, I find a lot of respect in that, man. And I know the following that you got is tight, and like it's only gonna grow, man.
I appreciate
and
that.
so it means something to me. Like those videos, they truly do, like, because you're being yourself unapologetically,
Right.
And people don't like that all the time, but like it's because they're not being themselves unapologetically.
Exactly. And I just want to inspire and, you know, motivate people like you were just experiencing to eat healthier and get fit, because your physical health is reflectant on your mental health. And so if you're worrying about both of those all the time, you're just going to be a happier, healthier person. You're going to have more energy. You're going to make better decisions. You're going to make less emotional decisions, more logical, intelligent decisions, and, you know, you just have a lot more happiness in your life. A lot of people look at fitness as something that's a little bit too serious to get into, or too much of a commitment, and they don't realize that they can dip their toes in the fitness pool at any amount, at any time, at any level, you know, because anything is better than nothing. So
It's true. And I like to say a lot that you can go out and own it at any moment, Hundo.
yeah, and a lot of people won't ever go to the gym because they don't ever find that day where they need to go get the gym outfit, get the water bottle, get everything together, go figure out which gym they want to get a membership to. And you don't even need to start at the gym. You can start in
Yeah.
your living room. You can start with literally anything. So,
It's true.
and any type of movement is fitness. Any type of sport, any type of anything you're doing where you're moving your body. So
Get moving, people.
doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what you're doing. Just get moving.
Get moving.
Yeah.
No, you do a good job at motivating people, man. And one thing that's always stuck with me since the first time we did an episode was cruciferous vegetables.
I was just thinking that
Were you?
same thing.
That's always stuck with me because
glad it has.
because of how passionate you were on the delivery.
Okay,
You know?
see?
It was
You were the only guest that I had to ask, why are you yelling right now?
he was so passionate about the cruciferous vegetables.
cruciferous vegetables!
That'll go down in the DCPC highlights.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, man, and even my mom, she reads dictionaries, she reads books, she's so intelligent. She didn't know what cruciferous was, so
Yeah.
I broke it down to her.
You educate a lot of people with
Yeah,
with that,
man.
Hundo.
It's a term you don't hear too often, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
No, it stuck with me for sure. I'll tell my girlfriend, like, we got some cruciferous up in there?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, DCPC family knows about this.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Got to check that cruciferous intake on
Yep.
a daily basis.
Hashtag
I
cruciferous.
need more of that.
Yeah.
Was cabbage one of those?
I don't believe so.
Oh, damn it. 'Cause
Bro-
I
so
love
what?
that Korean food.
Kale,
Was
Brussels
broccoli?
sprouts, broccoli,
Cauliflower?
cauliflower.
All right.
Cruciferous meaning cruciferous.
Yeah.
If that helps you understand.
You know, I feel like there was a binding happening there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if the end of your vegetable is like smooth and edgy, that's not cruciferous.
Okay. Okay.
Think about the top of broccoli.
That's cruciferous.
Cruciferous.
It's like a little tree.
Yeah. Think about what kale's doing, you know?
Yep.
Fucking cruciferous.
It's important, man.
That's right.
I'm glad we brought that back to the table here.
Cruciferous full circle. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's a lifestyle.
It is.
And to go back to your point, because start anywhere. And as far as working out and as treating yourself better, because it's so easy to kind of disrespect yourself, but you disrespect yourself by like eating like shit, drinking all the time, you know, staying up late, like not respecting your sleep schedule. Like there's so many different ways you could disrespect yourself, and I've been on my own respect journey, and I've been climbing, and I keep getting things try to pull me down and knock me back down, but like it's that consistency and it's that commitment. And if you are afraid of the commitment, then that's the thing you should do. Because when you fully commit to something that you thought would be a challenge and that you thought would be difficult to overcome, then you're actually going to feel fulfilled. Like a lifestyle that is cozy, relaxed, and not unchallenged. Like if you're not challenging yourself, then you're never going to feel fulfilled. So I just go on walks. It's free. You could go on a walk in the neighborhood for free, spend 30 minutes doing it, spend an hour doing it. Go walk a mile, go walk 2 miles. It's better than nothing. You know?
Fresh air, fresh oxygen for your brain, new visual environment to offer yourself new thought processes, you know. You don't realize that your environment changes your thought processes. So sitting in a room, not feeling so good, you don't really know what to do, you might think, hey, let me go for a walk. And then you think, no, fuck that, I want to go for a walk. But you need to go for that walk because you'll start going for that walk, get some fresh oxygen in your system. You'll start looking at this, looking at that. Before you know it, you're on a completely different thought track. You're thinking about new things. You're not even stuck in the same zone that you were in. So it's important to get yourself moving because you can get in a position really easy where you just get stuck. Your brain's trying to fire, but your body's not firing off. And usually that gets harder after about 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. So if there's some shit you got to do, you better count to 3 and you just start moving.
Hell yeah.
Man,
Even if you don't want to do it, even if it's like...
Did you hear that on DCPC or are you just
Yeah,
doing
no,
that?
dude, I just reflected that, man.
Oh,
That's just,
he knows.
that's just synchronistic universe.
Yeah,
Oh,
we push
delivering
that hard.
the same message, man. I'm telling you. Because
3 to 5 seconds is a crucial moment.
It is. You got to just freaking, you know, you got to look at it as like, it doesn't matter if I want to do it or not. I'm just going to start moving my body. And it's going to move in the direction of getting done what I need to get done.
Yeah,
And then
just commit and go.
even if you're sitting in your brain like a little alien controlling your body, like, this sucks, man. I can't believe this is doing this, but you're just doing it, you know,
Yep.
because that's the thing is you got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
So true, man.
That's,
It is true.
that's
Speaking
the
the language.
key to life. That's the key to life right there, boys.
Yep, and it's something that I learn every day for sure. And the 5 second rule, which we push here quite a bit, is, you know, whatever the case may be, right? Your brain will start to talk you out of it in less than 5 seconds. If you're like, should I go talk to that person? Should I try this? Should I make this change? Yes, do it now. Get up, start moving. That's step one, is just start moving that direction, right? And the rest will follow.
Exactly, because time goes by as quick as you don't want it to and as slow as you don't want it to at the wrong time. So, you
Yep.
know, that's how time works.
Look, it's easy to be complacent. It's super easy to just look at social media for 6 hours after you get off work and heat up the easy ramen, you know, and not eat any cruciferous vegetables.
Get that cruciferous.
You know, but that's the thing, like, and I really want to stress that to people a lot. Like, all the listeners, all y'all that are listening in, like, I'm saying, man, like, it's so crucial that we challenge ourselves. And look, I've been going through some financial challenges recently. I've been, you know, doing my sobriety challenge with the opiates. I've been doing really good on that for over a year.
Nice.
I've been trying to cut out alcohol a little bit. You know, I didn't drink Monday night. I drank a lot less Tuesday and Sunday. Usually I'm drinking 6 to 8. But it's like, you know, I could get complacent in all these different areas, but I have to keep reminding myself to challenge myself, and I can be better. I can be a better Arthur. I can be a better version of myself. What's that look like? And, like, everybody out there in the world, y'all need to do that, because there's nothing for you in complacency. There's nothing for you keeping the same routine that you've had for 10 years. Like if you've had the same job for a long ass time and you're sick of that job and you haven't moved on from it and you're just sitting there collecting a check, doing the bare minimum, you're not going home feeling fulfilled. So there's so many areas that we could apply this. You're not feeling fulfilled, you know, and you're not challenging yourself. But it's like, it's really up to the individual. Like, are you willing to commit to push yourself daily? Because that it's not a 30-day program. It's not a 2-week program. It's not a 3-month program. It's a lifestyle change. Like, you have to fully commit and change your life to, like, opening up your mind to living differently. And it's hard, and it is meant to be.
Exactly. Guys, I'm going to give you a visual. That was a great speech. Imagine yourself at the bottom of a staircase, okay? There's 2,000 stairs on this staircase. You can't even see the top. The top is disappearing in a cloud. And someone's telling you, you got to get up there. You got to get up there. And you're looking at it like, you're looking at him saying, do you see how many stairs there are? I can't even see the top of this staircase. What do you want me to do about it? Take a step. One step, you guys. If you look at the whole staircase, you'll get overwhelmed and you won't even take a step. If you think about taking 20 steps, 30 steps, it's still too many steps. It's just one step at a time. So figure out what's that one step that you can take. And then take another one and take another one. Don't not take one step in a day. That's being too complacent.
Yeah.
So whether it's one step in a day or 5 steps or 10 steps, but one step at a time, because that staircase is divided into steps, 2,000 of them. And no matter how many steps you do a day, those steps will add up, and eventually you'll get to the top of that staircase. Everybody will get to the top of their staircases.
One more piece. Don't be skipping steps, because when you try to jump steps, you slip, and then you fall back. So it's like, no cutting corners. No cutting corners in life.
Don't cut corners.
All right.
You might get some bruises on the way down. You're falling. You might be a little stronger on the way back up, but you wasted time. There's no need to waste time. Take it one step at a time, because you can't rush stuff. Everything is a slow process.
So true, man.
Don't get too focused on the results either, because there's no certain point in your journey where you are supposed to get a certain level of your results to make you satisfied with what you're doing. No matter how quickly or slowly you're getting your results, you're taking the steps needed to get to where you need to go. And that's all that matters, because everybody's journey is going to be at a different speed, depending on their environment, depending on their genetics, depending on what they got going on, depending on their mental attitude. So don't get down on yourself about how quickly you may be moving in your own journey. Just make sure
You're moving.
that you're keeping yourself accountable and moving every day.
Solid speech. I feel like you guys just crushed it. Now the floor is on me. It's gonna be tough to match that. All I can
What
say.
do you got? What do you got for us? Let's see.
All I can say is I can agree with everything you're saying. Let's not skip the steps. Let's enjoy the journey, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful or difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. And there's a lot of truth behind that, right? You really got to enjoy that journey. We're not trying to take a shortcut here. You might miss out on something. You might miss a crucial experience along the way. You know, we got to enjoy this journey. But
right.
we got to keep the wheels turning. We got to keep it moving forward. I agree with all that, man. It's so true. I've experienced that live action. You know, it's one step at a time. And that pace is different. You can sprint up the stairs. No, it's one at a time.
Yep.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like, I like how you said, you know, like, don't get too focused on the end goal. Obviously, you got to focus on it a little bit, because that's where you're trying to, that's what you're trying to achieve. But there's something about the process of becoming successful, the process of creating an instrumental, the process of developing a sale, the process of you know, of waking up in the morning and showing love to the world. Like, whatever your process is, whatever you're trying to achieve, like, enjoy the process,
Right.
Because it's so easy to get caught up, like, oh man, I'm not succeeding as quick as I want to, or I'm not where I want to be, but are you? Because if you wake up and you give it 100 every day, and you know that you tried your best and you did everything you could to get it done, like, I'll just be straight up. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but like, all my bad decisions, like, I've been trying to build up my credit heavily over the past couple years, and it's been a bit of a struggle, bro. And like, it's went up, it's went down, and it's up and down. And so, like, I've had car issues, and I needed to get a new whip, and like, I couldn't get approved by myself, and I couldn't get approved by the credit unions at the dealership, or by the bank that I went to, or by all these different things. And I exhausted every single thing on the way to figuring, all right, let me see. And I'm so fortunate I have my family that helps support me, and you know, but it's like, you really got to enjoy the process and enjoy the struggles of the process, because it's an expectation to have an easy life is just,
It's an illusion.
It is.
It's an illusion, even for the people that are filthy rich and have everything at their whimsical, you know. They don't have an easy life. Nobody has an easy life. There's problems that money can't solve. There's problems that money creates. So it'd be nice to be rich. It'd be nice to have everything everybody wants. But no matter what, if you could snap your fingers and have everything you want, there'll still be new problems. There's always going to be problems. So you got to
the hits will keep coming.
Learn to coast through the speed bumps and get better suspension.
I like that. If it were easy, everyone would do it, Hundo.
That's right. Exactly right.
If it were easy, everyone would do it. It's going to take work. It's going to take the hard times, the bumps and bruises.
Persistence and consistency is everything. Okay?
So true, man.
You can be a powerhouse. You could be gifted, but I'm telling you right now, water trickling over that rock and that waterfall will erode that rock over time, no matter what. Analogy. And that's persistence and consistency right there.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to Andrea. She came on a bit ago.
Andrea Templeton, yeah.
Yep, and she had a quote. It was being relentlessly consistent. Being relentlessly consistent was her thing right now. And it's just like, what does that mean? And it's like you think about stuff like that, and it's like there's a lot of weight there. There's a lot of power there.
Relentlessly consistent is discipline. Doing stuff that you know you need to do, whether you want to do it or not. Not depending on motivation. Motivation is the cherry on the cake that will give you extra fuel in your car when you're driving down the road, but you can't rely on only motivation, or else you'll be stopping and going and stopping and going. You got to have discipline as your fuel. Even when you hate it, even when you're mad, you are so relentlessly consistent. You have the discipline to continue doing exactly what you need to do, like a robot, like a computer. Emotion is what will stop you. I'm telling you right now.
So
People
true.
get emotion. They get too emotional. They get too in their head, overthink. That's really, if you think about, there's a couple things I want to say real quick. So the difference between animals and humans is mainly our ability to reflect, right? So I'm not saying animals and insects and stuff can't reflect, but they're so much more instinctual. They're most of the time living in the moment because they're constantly relying on their natural instinct to figure out what the next move is for survival. Humans don't really have to think too much about how to survive, especially in society. When you get comfortable in your own routine, you know you're going to be fed, you know where to go to get your food, you know you got a shower, you got everything you need. So your brain starts to overthink because of reflection, because reflection is an interesting tool, right? It helps you learn and grow, because without being able to reflect on a past experience, how are you able to grow from it or take anything from that experience? Reflection is essentially everything about gaining anything from an experience, but it's the one thing that powers overthinking. So
what's one of the biggest things that you find yourself reflecting on?
I was going to ask that same question.
Well, bingo.
I would say everything. I mean, for the most part, I'm always reflecting a lot on my personal growth, what I'm doing, how I'm living, how I conduct myself, stuff like that, what I need to be doing to continue taking the right step every day to get to where I need to go, stuff like that. But I think in general, it's not super important that you're reflecting on a certain thing. I think it's just understanding that humans reflect on everything. Just anytime you're thinking in your head, you're essentially reflecting, because you're having to recall some sort of past experience or memory to either think about a future scenario or think about how a past scenario could have gone differently. And so even though it's a great tool, don't get caught up in overthinking, because overthinking is what will make you complacent and make you not move, is because you'll come up with reasons and excuses, and that's essentially all they are, is you have a whole lot of excuses and not a whole lot of time. You think you have a ton of time, but you don't. And what you're going to do is you're going to allow all this time to pass you by until one day when you're going to wake up and realize you should have started doing what you wanted to do a lot sooner. And when is that? Right now.
So true.
Literally right now. Even if you turn this podcast off and finish it later, and do it right now. It's so important to just do it now, because waiting until tomorrow morning or waiting until Wednesday morning of next week is pointless. Those excuses you have will still be there, and the first step you take will never be perfect. So just take that step. You can start right now.
Time is now, Hundo. We got to do it. Our good
right.
friend Amy Lewis always says the problem is we think we have time.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you
and
think you do. It's an
you think you
illusion.
do. You're like, oh, I'll get to that. I got time. Oh, 2 weeks left in the month. I'm not worried. No, we don't.
Look at this.
Gone like that.
I was just here for episode 100, and
You were just here.
146.
46 weeks later, Hundo.
Holy shit.
Time zooms by faster than you
did.
know it. So that's why
Crazy.
also if you're preoccupied, being busy, disciplined, doing what you need to do, that time's going to pass by and you're going to get to places. You're going to get, to places you never thought you were going to get. So stay motivated.
Yeah,
and
believe
stay
and
disciplined.
achieve that.
That's
You
a
know,
strong one, yeah.
It's just it's important, man.
Well, it is. It is. And it helps having the right people around you, too, right? Because, like, anytime the three of us get together, you can feel we're all kind of on that same wavelength. Like, let's
That's
go,
another
baby.
very important aspect.
Surrounding
of
yourself
it.
with the right people.
Environment.
You know, because if you're around a bunch of negative Nancys, which, we're all going to run into in our lifetime, they could pull you down. They can
Even
pull
the
you down.
strongest people are affected by their environment.
Yeah.
Even the strongest people, someone who is maybe only slightly affected, is still affected by the wrong environment. So
Sure. It's all about
you gotta
that
keep
energy.
that in mind. Exactly. You get around. You want a goal. Surround yourself with people who have the same goals. Even if you have to change your friend, you don't have to, stop being friends with old friends.
No.
Just start prioritizing
No, I-
relationships with people
did
that
this
have
thing.
the same goals.
And I hate to interrupt you, but I had to say it, man. Everybody's liable to be on the chopping block. Like, if you're not, I'm going to quote Logan Kamen here. Yeah, Logan Kamen, he was on, but it's like, look, you do you, and if people aren't on your wavelength, then they're not going to be. Like, just go
And you shouldn't
after it.
wait for somebody.
Yeah, and you shouldn't wait.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it all echoes the same kind of thing. I mean, I've been around a lot of negativity in my life, and it can be contagious, and that's not what I want to spend my time and energy on.
Yeah, no.
This is the stuff that we need to be focusing on, man.
Yep.
It's helping each other build and grow, and let's go. Let's keep
Your
each other
energy
moving.
is a very important currency. that
It's-
you
it's
have.
crucial.
Spend it wisely, for
Yeah.
sure.
And even on the bad days, there's times where I'm feeling demotivated, and Art will pick me up, and vice versa, right? It's important to have that crutch and to be able to
Yes.
lean on people you can trust.
Yep, exactly.
So
Yeah. I mean, life's definitely a journey, and like it's to be appreciated. Like, and I've said this a bunch recently, and I'm gonna keep saying it because I'm reminding myself, man. Like, I feel like I'm in the best decade of my life. I just stepped into it, and I'm noticing that. Like, I'm appreciating my days so much. Like, I'm driving to the studio, and I'm like, let's fucking go. I'm all super stoked up. I'm all super excited. And I'm like, dude, this is a great day. I'm like, these are the best days of my life. And I'm literally telling myself that. And by focusing energy on that and being aware and like putting that into my own mind constantly, week after week, after month, after, it's like I am in a place now that I never thought I could be. Like, with my own personal happiness. Even with all the difficulties that I'm dealing with.
That's
I'm
good,
still
man.
happier than I've ever been.
That sounds like you have a positive perspective. Perspective is important, you guys, because you can have a perspective in either direction, right? No matter what it is, silver lining. Find the silver lining. No matter what it is, no matter how bad a situation is or how good a situation is, if you try hard enough to have a different perspective, you can find the good in it or find the bad in it, right? And the universe doesn't give a shit whether you are in a good mood or a bad mood, whether you think someone's great or whether you do not like something, right? So the same way you don't realize you're making up reasons and finding excuses to feel negatively about something, or maybe you feel like you shouldn't be in a good mood or you shouldn't be excited about something, you're choosing that. And the same way you're choosing that, you can choose to be happy about it. And you might think, but I'm not really that happy about it. Well, are you really not that happy about it? Or are you subconsciously choosing to not be happy about it? Because just fake it till you make it is a good saying, because a lot of the times when you're not feeling your best, if you just put on a smile, act a little bit more energetic, and don't slump around, you'll make yourself feel better. And that's because you can choose to have a positive perception on anything at any time. So I think that's a really good point you had there. I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, that's solid advice too.
Love it.
And it's something I work on daily. Going on 33 now. I for many of my years in my 20s, as you remember, I would always focus on the negatives, and I would let that outweigh the good parts of my day. Like,
Right.
oh, some asshole, I got into it with him today. Road rage, this, that, and the other. Right, and I would focus my energy on that, and it was physically draining me. Blood
Yes.
pressure comes up. caveman DNA comes up. I'm yelling, right? Because I'm focusing on it, Hundo.
Yep.
When I changed it around, I look at, man, today might have been tough. I had some struggles, but here's what went really well.
Right.
Here's the boxes that
There's
I checked.
always positive stuff you can focus on.
It's where you choose to put that focus and energy into. Where focus goes, energy flows.
That's right.
It's so true.
It's very right.
Man, all I know is that it's just like the world can be anybody's oyster. And here's the thing: is it's to shift your life and to do things differently. It's a long road. All right, it's strenuous. You're alone too. Like, sure, I have my friends. I've been able to, and God bless that. But like, you're kind of alone, and it's not easy, and it's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
You know, and like, life is hard, and there's a lot of ugly in this world, you know? And you can spend all day focusing on that, but how does that benefit you?
Yeah.
You know, so that, I mean, that's the challenge of this week. Like, let's all be cognizant, and let's like really try to dial in what we're focusing on.
Right. Be more aware of your thoughts. Are they positive or are they negative? Do they need to be negative, or are you just choosing for them to be negative? Because you can choose for them to be positive.
Or it's just happening to you. Because I feel like people who are being negative and like they don't think about it. Like it's happens.
habitual, of course. Yeah.
Like it's just happening, and
that's why you have to make positivity habitual, like you've made negativity habitual. So just definitely a good goal for this week. Everybody be more aware of how they're responding to their environment and how they're responding to their emotions. You know, so it's always a good thing to respond and not react, right? So assess how you should be treating a situation logically, and don't respond based on how you're emotionally feeling in that moment. Because most of the time you're not going to do what you would do if you weren't as emotional.
So
Emotions are good, but
yeah,
they're good in the right places at the right
yeah.
time.
it's good to feel emotions, not be emotional.
Yeah.
I guess.
And it's
Emotions are
important to
good
feel.
for empathy and understanding, other people and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it definitely can hinder your own progression on a daily basis.
sure.
That's why, if you look at how warriors are, people back in the day who trekked across the world, had a very stoic, non-emotional mindset, because that's what you have to have if you're going to be tough and surviving. So
It's true, man.
seems like the more society has been developed, the more emotional of a mindset has been allowed for humans to take on, for sure.
It's important
Which
to
is
feel.
why I think art and music and stuff has evolved so much, because that's part of the emotional brain and the creative
Absolutely.
mind.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. I mean, playing guitar, writing songs, rapping, podcasting, whatever
Right.
you're into, it's important to get those emotions
Oh yeah,
out.
absolutely. Absolutely.
It's helped me tremendously.
Yeah.
And every day it's a constant battle, man. Like Art says, you got to wake up and put your armor on and go to war.
Yep.
What are we going to focus our time and energy on? And I know we echo beating a dead horse with that point, but it's so true with everything we're bombarded with, whether it's the COVID, Russia, Ukraine, right? There's always going to be something.
The new
that
fear factor.
Yeah, I mean the new fear factor, FUD, whatever you want to call it, fear, uncertainty, doubt. That's what FUD stands for.
Okay.
There's always going to be that level of negativity that's around us, and we got to decide what we want to do with that. How are we going to react to it? It's important to be informed, but it's also important not let it dictate your life.
Right.
So that's what I've been trying to do here. Is just not get. I turn the news off. I stay informed, right? I want the weather, give me the current events, but I'm not going to consume my time with that, because it makes me feel. It doesn't give me the positive feelings that I'm looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And some may say maybe I'm being naive and arrogant, trying to turn a blind eye to what's going on, but it's just like, this isn't really adding value to my life right now.
Well, because your media is your food for your brain and your eyeballs. What kind of food are you ingesting on a daily basis, but what kind of brain food are you ingesting through your social media content? Hopefully, the content you're watching is something that can add
it's
value
so
to your
garbage.
life.
Most of it's so garbage, bro. Like I'm at that point where I don't even want to bring my phone to the dumper.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I would be better off sitting
And
there
you just
in
can't
my
get
own
stuck in
thoughts.
one type of content,
Yeah.
because I think there's a time and
Rabbit
a place
hole.
for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Personally, I love that for when I'm trying to unwind and not think too logically. That kind of stuff helps me just laugh and
Zone out for a
And
minute.
that's
let go of
okay.
But that's in moderation, Hundo.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I say you just gotta make sure you're analyzing what kind of food you're putting in and how much of each type of food for your content.
So true. Yeah, all of it. It's all checks and balances of life. Food, alcohol intake. I need to dial that back. Social media intake. you know, when it comes to my social media intake, being that we do a lot of content creating, Hundo, as you know, we're on there a lot.
Yep.
We're uploading stories. You're uploading stories.
Yep.
We're checking out what's going on. We got podcast uploads. But then, you know, there's all this other bullshit that starts coming up in the scroll. And you're like, oh, you know, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
You know, so it can be distracting.
Yep.
It can definitely pull a little bit away. But, hey, that's part of the challenge.
Yep. So that's a good idea. You know, maybe go in your followers, weed out some of the stuff that you don't really need to see as much of. Maybe
Good call.
identify if you have 80% goofy stuff on your feed and 20% stuff that's actually adding value to your life, and try and adjust that a little bit. That'll help you just by not having to ingest anything other than just looking at your phone. It'll change what you're looking at.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I had to do that I got kind of into pornography for a while, where it became the dark arts and it was really consuming my life. And it was a segue, right? Like Twitter, Instagram, you'd see all these half-naked women, and then that would just segue from there.
Yeah.
And so eliminating that a little bit kind of takes that away.
Yeah.
But it's everywhere we look, you know? So solid advice is to get rid of it. You know, when I stopped looking at it, I did a lot better with it.
Yeah.
But when it's there and it's all I see, I'm like, fuck, that's all I'm thinking about.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard, man. And they want to control our time and everything. And, you know, I mean, we keep going down that rabbit hole. And what a bunch of great information that we uncovered there and talked about. Like, I love the conversation, but I'm excited to hear, man. Like, what are you planning for the rest of 22? What's planned at Hundo? What's the plan, man?
Shoot, man.
When's the
Let's
next show?
see.
Let's
we
go.
got albums coming out, more
Yeah.
singles. I've been working on a ton of music, producing my own beats and stuff like that.
Exciting.
I got a buddy from Kansas City, Missouri, that I've been working on a lot of music with. He's actually taken a little bit more of the Christian rap route, but
Okay.
we're still finding ways to intervene our music and stuff like that, and co-promote each other and stuff like that. He's
Terrific.
probably one of my best friends I have that I make music with. And yeah, as far as that goes, a lot in the works there. And fitness goals. Let's see. I want to enter a powerlifting competition.
Nice.
Hopefully by near the end of the year. Probably not a bodybuilding competition this year, but possibly for 2023. And then for this year as well, I'd like to enter an arm wrestling competition. So I've been doing a lot of arm wrestling training.
Bro, that shit
And,
would intimidate the
I'm not even going to attempt any of
I'm
it.
planning on getting like a table set up and doing a lot more YouTube videos involving arm wrestling. I'd like to actually take a table to like out front of a gym and just challenge dudes coming out of the gym. I think that'd be a
Come
fun
on, man.
video. Yeah, exactly.
after they're finished working
Yeah,
out.
just not even say anything. Just
Yeah.
look at them with my arm up like, and see if they take the bait. You
Like,
know?
let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's gonna sit down with you, man.
It'll make some good YouTube videos. So
Hell
be on
yeah.
the lookout for those. And so that covers it as far as the fitness. And then we've got Hundo, which is my extraction line. I don't know if we've talked about this a ton, but I have my own solventless extract line. It's called Hundo. So Planet Hundo is the name of essentially everything that I do. It's kind of the name of my channel because it encapsulates. So it's because I'm doing fitness and I'm doing cannabis and health coaching and powerlifting and arm wrestling. There's all these, rapping. There's all these different things under the same hat. So that's why it's called Planet Hundo, because that's all that stuff is in the planet, right? And then there's Hundope, which is Hundo's dope. So that's the solventless line, which is cannabis extracts extracted through a non-solvent water process. So all my stuff is organic, pesticide-free, healthy, just very in the line with how I like to eat, stuff like that. It's got no chemicals. I'm also making gummies now. So they are solventless infused live rosin gummies. I brought you guys a couple of gummies. I don't know if you're still ingesting or not, but
I'm
I'll
down.
we
definitely
got a couple
partake.
prototypes rolling out. We got the pineapple, all right? So these are solventless live rosin. The strain is going to be OG Kush. These are only 10 milligrams of gummy. I kept it light for you guys. That way it wouldn't kill you.
that.
You know
look
what
at
I
that
mean?
though, man. Look at that nice little pineapple.
Nice little pineapple.
That
And then
does
we-
look good.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So that's 10 milligrams right here, Hundo?
Yeah, that's
The
10
whole thing?
milligrams. And then I
think I
make
nailed
different
that.
strengths. I've got some stronger ones here. These are actually 60 milligrams per gummy. And
Ooh.
these are a cinnamon gummy.
That's a hitter.
Yeah, this is a hitter right here. And it's got some
Oh.
CBN and CBD mixed in with it,
Oh,
so
wow.
this will really help you get to sleep.
Man.
So I've been working on those. Be rolling more gummies and stuff like that out this year.
I love it,
And,
man.
That's exciting.
Dude, you look like you just added like 4 different layers to what you had
To the
since
Planet
last
Hundo.
time,
Yeah.
since last time you were in here, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's actually stuff that I've been working on for a while. I just don't think we ever really got time to kind of touch on it.
That's
The
really
most of the
exciting.
stuff that we touch on is the health stuff and
Sure.
eating and most stuff, and music. But yeah, I've been in and out of the industry since 2013. I started with the Green Solution, and then Cannabis for Health, who is now the Pig and Whistle, is actually who I started.
Oh, I know that spot off
kinda-
Colfax.
Yeah, interning my solventless skills through.
Okay.
Did a lot of work for them. Then I went to work for Kind Love. After that, Epic Extracts, and then another company called Connoisseurs Genetics and Concentrates. I'm not sure if they're still around or not, but they were a small solventless company. Then I went to work for Willie Nelson, actually. Worked
Okay.
for Willie's Reserve. I was their CO2 extraction engineer, so I did all their CO2 oil, basically the little pens. Then after that, I went to a place called Boski Labs, where I was
remember-
at last time.
Yeah, I remember on
made the
episode 100 you brought
solventless
some of
syrup.
those. Yep.
Great company. The product still exists. You can still get it everywhere. Yeah, and so I have a lot of experience doing the solventless aspect of the extraction part. So that's
Epic.
definitely what I'm passionate about, because I'm passionate about cannabis in general. That's something I consume on a daily basis. Obviously, it's not for
Are you-
everybody.
do you
Everybody
eat
responds
more than
a little
smoke?
bit. I'd smoke more. So I
Okay.
smoke concentrates pretty much on a daily
Okay.
basis, and then edibles I will take on a daily basis as well. But I usually will take those in the evening time, just kind of help me sleep.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
And I think we need to call out Mike Patchen too, because there was something that Hundo had proven wrong on Patchen. He said, "Do I owe Hundo a steak
Yeah.
now?" But now that'll have to be a vegan
yeah, I
meal.
don't remember
I
what that
forget
was.
exactly what it was, but Patchen, we haven't forgotten about that. you still owe Hundo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Come on, man, pay up, dude.
Yeah, there's a nice,
What the hell?
There's a nice dinner that needs to be owed.
Yeah, man.
Patchen's good for it.
Take me to a vegan restaurant, man. Let's go. Metaburger. All
Metaburger.
4 of us, all right?
I'd like to check that out. That video is fantastic, by the way. Before we wrap it up, I really enjoy
Glad
watching
you
that.
guys like that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean you crush it.
That
You
was
can
a
tell
lot
you're
of
in the
fun
zone.
filming that. Metaburger, I love them. I like the plant-based diet has introduced me to so many cool plant-based restaurants and the owners. There's so many cool people, and Metaburger is one of them, and they've offered me so much opportunity with
It's awesome.
filming that video inside of the restaurant, hooking me up with, well, they didn't actually hook me up with it. It was a buddy of mine, interesting story, who hooked me up with Big Smo, who was on the song. with me.
Yeah.
And he actually went in there to eat and was telling him about it.
So did he work there?
No, he just was visiting from
Okay.
Tennessee, went in there to eat because he actually had recently gone vegan because he had to have triple bypass heart surgery, I believe,
Oh wow.
and barely made it through. And
Jeez.
the vegan diet was something that was in his eyesight, and he tried it out, and it's corrected his bloodline, his blood work, and stuff like that. Ever since he's changed his diet, and he's lost a bunch of weight, and he feels better. So
Good for him.
he came down. My buddy let him know, hey man, I got a vegan rapper I know that makes songs and stuff like that. And so I was actually going to go on his podcast, and we were going to just talk about how we went vegan and stuff like that. And I never got a chance to, but he ended up going to Metaburger and eating and talking to the owners, and they showed him the song that I had made 3 years ago now.
Yep.
And that's when it sparked the idea. He hit me up on Instagram and said, let's make another
do
one,
another one,
put me
nice.
on it, let's do it big. And
It turned out good.
that song's on like all platforms you can think of: Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, TikTok music, Instagram music.
It's catchy.
Anywhere you can search music, if you type in Metaburger, that song will pop up. So it's pretty cool. And that's
Yeah.
like the first and only song that I have that's that officially worldwide available.
There's
you know?
more
Well
to come.
produced.
Yeah.
It's well produced for sure, and we'll throw that in the show notes down below. So
Hell yeah.
everyone watching and listening, just scroll down, check that video out because Hundo kills it.
Appreciate that.
You play. I like all the characters you play in it. You know,
Yeah,
you
that
like
was
wearing the
super fun, man.
costumes. That's
They had
fun.
all those. Yeah, that was so fun.
Awesome
It was
stuff,
a lot
man.
of fun. That's what I love about music too. Is the music video part is probably the most fun because it's everybody gets together and has a party, and
Yeah.
everybody has a good time, and I love being goofy and funny most of the time. So it's always makes for a good time.
Keep doing you, man.
Yeah.
You're crushing it.
Thanks.
This
man.
is going to be the year, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
2022 will
This
be
is
ours.
gonna be the year. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah,
Let's
Wait
do
till
this.
the Hundo legacy takes off. It's,
Yes.
No one will.
Happy to have you in the
even
wheelhouse, man.
expected it. Yeah.
You know, it's so cool that we got to rub shoulders early on, and you've
Dude,
been on our
right.
show early, and you're still with us. And
It goes back to doors of opportunity, guys.
Yep.
How am I here? Craigslist ad.
I know.
that's
They
crazy.
probably thought putting an ad on Craigslist who are we gonna get? Who the hell are we gonna get? Right?
We had no.
And
clue,
I'm probably
bro.
thinking, what kind of shit am I gonna get responding to an ad on Craigslist? But
kind
you
of-
know what? You take that opportunity,
Yeah.
So
and
true, bro.
you have no idea what could blossom, you guys. You have no idea.
Yeah. What kind of pum dunk podcast?
Yeah, right.
asking
Like
for
what
shit
the?
on-
Yeah, what am I gonna be going
about
on
to
here?
Go over here and get. You know,
Yeah, I was very.
and then you start walking in the basement back then.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, this
Quite
is
an
legit.
experience.
Yeah.
Your boys are coming up a little bit, man.
That's true. That's true.
I see you're hustling. You coming up too.
That's
dog.
right. That's right.
That's the thing, man. is
we gonna
like-
make it. We gonna make
Oh,
it.
Oh, we
man.
guarantee it.
That's
I
right.
love
Yeah,
it.
everyone in here, we're going places.
And guys, even if none of us make it, it's not about that.
Yeah, we're
okay?
having fun.
It's not about that, really. Okay. If your videos till the day you die, no one ever sees them. That's not really why you're creating content, is it? Creating it because you're a content creator and you love to do what you do. Okay, so just
1000%.
fucking express yourself and just record it and put it out there. So in case people happen to see it, they can get something from it. You know. But
So true. That's actually a great way to sum it all up too. You know, do it because you love it.
exactly.
You know?
like let's say you do something right. Oh, I just did this hour-long thing, and you realize it wasn't recording. Usually, that's like a very hard thing to deal with. But just think about it as like, okay,
Don't you say that? In,
you were expressing yourself and it wasn't recorded. You know,
We've
people
been there.
aren't going to
We've been
see
there.
it. But you expressed yourself, and you were
Yeah.
exercising expressing yourself,
still lived it.
which is good for the habit of expressing yourself.
Yes.
It's just like freestyle rapping, you know what I mean? If you only record and you only want to freestyle rap and get these good freestyle raps, you're just never going to be a good freestyler. You got to freestyle all the time and endure the shitty freestyles, endure the times when you're
and-
not
and
really
even-
flowing
even
that
make
great.
up a couple words along the way.
Yeah, do that shit so that you can keep
how I
flowing
do
into
it.
the zones where you're freaking hitting it. You know
Hell
what I
yeah,
mean?
man.
Exactly, man.
Good advice. Really good advice, especially when it comes to the content part. Do it because you love it.
Yep.
You know, obviously, that's okay to have some dreams and goals along the way, right? One step at a time, Hundo, right? We're climbing that staircase.
That's right, Greg Paul. Fuck off, man. I don't need any more viewers, bro. All right? I'm satisfied.
And on that bombshell,
Yeah.
we're going to shut it down.
That was a great episode. Great way to close it. Viewers, be good to yourselves.
You know you deserve it. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Hundo just broke in the new studio with us. We got Jamie Rorick in studio next week, guys. Why is that important? Because that's where we started. We started in his basement.
Full circle again, boys. That's what's up.
Yes,
That's what I'm
sir.
talking about. If you guys get a chance to come in this studio, you better get fucking excited. This shit is legit. It is nice and roomy in here. I don't want to leave. Actually, I'm going to be laying down on that couch and going to sleep if you guys don't mind. Hope you don't mind putting some rain sounds on for me. So
Hey, you good, man. You good.
all
You can-
right,
you can
asleep.
show-
You guys just keep drinking beers. We'll just nod off.
We got plenty of beer in the fridge. We got Hundo's episode to edit and upload. It's going to be fun, man. This is going to be our year, brother. You're coming back on, obviously, at some point this year. And let's keep this train moving, man.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We love you guys.
Good to see you.
Peace.